Go ahead, Tom, and then we'll go to Zach.
Just really proud of our team. Just their ability to stay together, just keep battling. You know, what I saw week in practice is what you saw today. Obviously had some tough times. Defense had to bow up. Offense had to bow up. Wasn't always pretty, but really physical, good football team we just played. That I knew it was going to be a challenge, but at the same time, we know where we are. Told our team earlier this week, last Sunday, that it was a 4-game season, and the goal is to be 1-0 after each week. So that's been the focus, the playoff mentality, and we know we got to win each week. So we don't talk about anything beyond whoever's next. And so it was all about finding a way to get ready for Wisconsin. And just proud of our team, the way they've stayed together today, they've stayed together this season, and we just got to keep getting a little bit better every single week. So saw some signs of that today, with our defense really coming up huge. Special teams I thought was really big. There was that big 60-yard punt that James had. It really flipped the field and put us in a great position, and defense took advantage of that, and offense scored just enough points. Obviously didn't get enough production in the second half. Need to get better at that. But at the same time, thought that we just trying to find a way to win a football game, and our guys were able to do that. So I will say this: I was really appreciative. Our crowd was awesome, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference in the fourth quarter. Makes a difference on those third downs. Beautiful day today, obviously with the weather. We're fortunate with that. But at the same time, appreciate them coming out supporting us. And we go into questions.
Zach and Matt.
Tom, Aaron Casey today, I think 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 for loss. He forced a fumble. I mean, just it's kind of an obvious one, but how important is that, especially from a senior, a captain, a leader in a game like this?
Well, it's massive. It's what you need in a game like this. You need those guys to step up and make those kind of plays. I just gave him the game ball in the locker room there without even knowing all those stats. I saw it live and in person. I knew it was pretty special the way out. But it's everything. It's the leadership. A couple weeks ago he didn't play very well, and he took ownership for that. And he came and we talked, and he's just a special person. And he's the leader of our defense. He's the leader of our team, and he's not up for giving many speeches, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to play like that and let us play, do the talking, but he definitely verbally leads the defense when he's on the field. So just really, you got to have your best player step up and play really well in games like this, and a game that you know you have to win, and against a really good team. So I'm proud of him, proud of all the guys around him.
Nathan, Mike.
Hey, Coach. Just kind of look at the stats. No turnovers, only a couple penalties. Other than that one, you had the missed tackle for the long pass. No mistakes, really. Defensive, no explosive plays. I guess how validated is you can kind of show your guys when you play like this is what can happen.
Well, and here's what we've been able to do. We've been able to show them in segments. Guys, when we lock in and play, we're a really good football team. The problem is it's more than just that little segment, So those segments have been growing, and so there's no question now you can look at this and say, guys, because we'll go through and we'll talk about all the things statistically you have to do to win a football game, and we show them just like last week. Even though we were close, we lost. Like there's 4 things that we say you have to do to win a football game. We lost all 4 of those last week. So even though the game was close, we had our opportunities with 2 minutes to go. We didn't win because we weren't executing and getting those things done the right way. So now you can take a game like this, say, guys, this is what you do, and when you do those things, you find a way to win. And protecting the football is a big deal. We got 2 takeaways, so being +2, that's really the biggest stat in football. If you just had to pick one, other guys can argue different things. I'm just telling you, I've done this for a long time. It's about protecting the football on one side and taking it away on the other. And when you take the ball away from somebody else, then your chances of winning go way up. It's like 80+%. So just we got to just continue to do this. So I challenge our guys, and I got just with Coach Tomlin over the summer about challenging them to be continuously on the rise. That's the expectation that I have as your coach, that you are continually on the rise as a player, as a person, and as a football team. And we've challenged our position groups to be continually on the rise. It means we're going to get a little bit better every single week. And we got to be playing our best football down the stretch. And these last 2 have been good signs in the right direction. We just got to still, obviously, things to clean up, things to get better at. But I think that's a testament because of what you saw today.
Mike, on your left, and Todd.
Donovan McCulley obviously made the one-handed grab and everything, but in the second half, 2 of your longer gains with the defensive pass interference calls on him, really struggled to guard him. How important has his maturation process been for you in this offense, kind of developing into that go-to guy for you guys?
There's no question. It's similar to what you talked about with what Aaron means to the defense, and making plays, and D-Mac to me is a guy that I've always challenged. I've always felt like that he was a guy that should have the mindset that they just can't guard me. If the ball is anywhere near me, I'm going to come down with it. And if they're going to have to grab me, they're going to have to hold me, they're gonna have to interfere with me in order for them to make a play. And I think if that continues, that becomes very, very dangerous. So obviously you don't have a chance to come down with the ball as you see can do that, but also have a chance to create a penalty which gives us a first down in those situations. So just a huge weapon for us. Once again, see him continue to develop and continue to elevate his play and just keep making those plays, because we're gonna need him down the stretch here. But so proud of D-Mac. He's coming into his own and he's playing the way I expect he should.
Todd, on your right, then Ravi.
Tell me about the discussion on the sideline to kick the field goal late. There was some risk in that. You also had the win and obviously maybe kick.
Yeah, there was some risk. Yeah, and the other thing too is like, it's like, okay, but here's the deal. It became about timeouts, okay? And that became the big part of the discussion. And so, obviously you can pin them down. You kick a long field goal, you got a chance of it getting blocked. Obviously you're only up by 6. They can still score, kick the extra point, still beat you. But they couldn't kick the field goal. And so I just felt like, we trusted Chris. He's really been kicking the ball well. I know he missed one earlier, but he has a strong leg. He had the wind in his back. Like you mentioned, we actually chose the wind for the fourth quarter. And we had to make that decision at halftime, and that was part of our discussion for that situation, and it ended up being working out in our favor. So yeah, we thought about punting it, and trying to pin them down inside the 10. The problem is, they're only down by 3, and we felt like since they only had like 1:10 to go with no timeouts and having to score a touchdown, that's hard to do. And so obviously it proved out to be a good decision.
Ravi on your left, and Sam.
Hey, Coach, every season we see teams that maybe get to 1-5, 2-6, and then the guys just kind of start mailing it in. Your guys stayed in the fight, so to speak. Why do you think that happened?
I just attribute it to our culture. I really do. I mean, our kids believe in what we're doing. They care about each other. It's way bigger than just a guy out there making plays for himself. They believe in what we're doing. And I think that just showed in the way they played the last couple weeks. Even going, that's a tough road game. It's a tough crowd. It's tough to, muster after a disappointing loss. A game we obviously all knew we really needed to win, and you don't. Now you got to go on the road and play a top 10 team in the country, and you saw the responses. So I just think it's a testament to our leadership. We got, the 2 6-year seniors, Noah and Aaron Casey. Michael Kadick on offense has been here a long time as well. Those kind of guys. Matt Benford to me is the guy that's really elevating his leadership, on the offensive side of football. And I think that matters, And so, Cam Camper's the guy, even though he's quiet as well, he cares a bunch, and he's the guy that helps lead. So I'd say it's our culture, it's the leadership on our team, and it's our coaches. They're just continuing to be relentless. It's earmuffs and blinders every single week. We just got to come back to work, no matter what happened, good or bad, and we got to attack the next day. And it's easier said than done. There's no doubt. It's definitely hard to do. But man, to see them rewarded for that today is pretty special. And so we know we got to go do it again next week. That's okay. We're going to enjoy this one for 24 hours.
Sammy, the Mason.
Coach, secondary battling some injuries, but you had 8 pass breakups.
Yeah.
Talk about those guys. Jordan Shaw's been playing a lot. Phil Dunham had a big game today. Just how did those guys playing a lot of man-to-man defense succeed today? Yeah,
I tell you what, just really proud of them. JoJo Johnson made some plays. He had a PBU. You mentioned Jordan Shaw, true freshman. That really kind of got his biggest taste last week. Made some big plays, and so we made the decision to have him start as our Husky because of the style of offense we're going to play today. And he rose up. Now, just his freshman mistakes. He's the one that fell down on their second touchdown. So it's just he's going to have to grow through all that. But at the same time, to me, he had a huge, which I almost thought was going to be a pick on their sideline. It was a PBU on 3rd down. And then you mentioned Philip Dunham was just another young guy, second year, really his first year playing, consistently. And you got to have those guys rise up. Matter of fact, even at the end, Lewis Moore, he wanted to be on their best receiver. We had it switched the other way around, and he's like, no, coach, I want this guy right now to finish off the game. And that's what you want. You want a guy to have that kind of confidence and swagger and edge about him, and he was able to finish as well. So just proud of our secondary. Guys are stepping up, and it's got to continue. There's no doubt about it. But, in a game like this, when it comes down to every single play matters, those guys were big.
Mason in front, and then Seth.
Coach, you just mentioned that every single play matters, and you also talked about needing more from your offense in the second half, but your defense being able to continually shut down Wisconsin after the offense wasn't necessarily putting it away. What does that do for your defense to kind of build that momentum going forward into these last 3 games?
Yeah, well, I tell you, it gives you a lot of confidence. There's nothing like game day success. I've said it for the last several weeks. I mean, we just need some game day success, just to reinforce and to give them some, just some positive energy to say, man, if you just stay the course, you're going to be rewarded on game day. And they finally got it today. But, our offense was very, very effective in the first half. We still had the time possession was like 33 minutes to ours, to theirs was the difference. And so that paid paid off in the second half. We weren't on the field very much at all in the first half because defense was getting 3 and outs. Offense was staying on the field, even though we didn't get as many points as I thought we should have with the drives that we had. And so, but those lack of reps in the first half really paid dividends, allowed us to be able to keep coming back. We didn't care, we don't blink. And that's another phrase we have here. Our guys were saying it in the locker room afterwards. It don't matter. I don't care what happens. I don't care if they get a first down or not. We go back on the field. It's our expectation to get the stop or get a takeaway. 3 and out takeaway. That's all we're talking about. And obviously, we got 2 huge takeaways in the second half, and the guys were able to bow up. So, yeah, I think all those things together continue to build towards what you're trying to get, which is a very confident football team. No matter what position you get put in, you got to rise up and make a play.
Step on your right, last one.
Kind of like you just talked about, it felt like there were a lot of potential turning points in the game today, whether it was, on both sides, whether, key third down your team had offensively or, Wisconsin's kind of on a long drive. Felt like there were some turning points where the game could have swung the other way and your guys came up with big plays almost every time. Just how encouraging is it to see your guys kind of come up with that response?
Well, it's huge. You think about, when I stand before you, you talk about a tough loss. You're talking about those exact same scenarios where you didn't make a play because they're game changers. And we tell our team this that every play is the most important play of the game because you don't know which one's going to be that play that really turned the momentum. I think of I'm always thinking about plays and games, and we had the roughing the passer. That was huge. That was third down long. We're off the field. They actually ended up driving and scoring on that drive. And those things have been, just like we can't let that negatively affect what's next. And so really focused on that, been working hard on that. But then, like you said, most of the time we came up with those big plays. And that's what you want. You want a team that expects to make those plays. You want players that want to be put in those positions where, man, you want that quarterback to throw the ball to the guy that you're guarding. Or you want to be able to the guy that's going to get the pressure, to get the sack that's going to, you talk about in the last drive, anytime you get an inbounds tackle, that's a lot of seconds off that clock. And that sack by Ace was huge. The big plays were huge to get tackles and allowed us to be able to finish it out. So, yeah, too many to name, but that's what you try to do. Put your guys in position, and then they got to make plays. So proud of our coaching staff, proud of our players, man. It was just a huge win for us today.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. LEO.